Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be looking at the Playmates, Rodan and Gorosaurus. Of course, these figures were released last year and released in Target, and I do believe they are in Walmart currently as well. I don't know, maybe not, Walmart's more for the Monsterverse kind of toys, so we might have to see for that. Playmates lately has been doing very well with their Godzilla toys. At first, they were reusing molds, and I remember they reused the wave of parts of the wave of Bandai Creations' Godzilla figures, but now they're not. They're making their own molds, as you can see here. So we're gonna be reviewing these two and seeing if they're worth adding to your collection. And I stole that phrase. Let's get on with the video. Now, first off, we're going to start with Rodan. So we're going to put Gorosaurus to the side here. And just excuse me, he has the nerve to fall. Anyway, here's Rodan. Now, Rodan, there's not many figures of this kind of Rodan. Of course, there's the Bandai figure. If you have the money, you can get X Plus. But since they came out with this, I chose this one because I can afford it. I ain't gonna buy like a $500, $300, $200 statue figure just to have it sit on my shelf. I mean, it's what they're for, but just kind of I mean, I wish I could own an X Plus, at least one, but expensive as hell. But anyway, here's Rodan. Now, looking at Rodan, it ain't anything like crazy good, but it's still better than Playmates' old figures. And like, just looking at it, it's amusing to look at. So let's look at the paint first. Now, the paint is what catches my eye, or bits of it. There's not a lot on it other than the back. You can see the back has some turquoise, greenish, blue, metallic, and gold. I'm assuming this is like a reference to that one Bandai vinyl figure that was released in like 1990 something. I think 1980, 89, I think, of Rodan, where he also had this kind of pattern on his back. But that's there. You can see at the head, the horns are gold, along with the mouth or beak. It's gold as well. No gold on the bottom side. And we have some gold on the chest and claws, and also on the nails. So that's pretty much it. A basic color of Rodan you'll mostly see is this kind of brown, which is pretty reminiscent of the movie. From the movie, you can see, he's mostly brownish or reddish. But it's Rodan. It's just a giant pterodactyl. It ain't anything crazy. But what is also pretty accurate is that he has black eyes in the movie, or in the 56 movie. His eyes were literally pitch black, which is just kind of confused me a lot. Yeah. But it's still cool. It's what makes Rodan Rodan. The detail on him is also really good. So looking at the detail here, you can see all the detail on the wings. You can see all the skin impressions from inside of the wings. Very, very good looking. Let's move to the back here. You can see more of that beautiful patterning and just crazy detail. Look at his tail. It looks so nice from the back. Whoa. Yo. His neck is long and stiff looking. You see, his chest has some of those spikes on him, which are covered in gold. So I can't really make it out, but you can make them out, but it's kind of hard to see from the little shiny areas from the gold. Legs look nice. We can see he has some of that wrinkling on his ankles, on his feet. He has some of that bony pattern on his foot. Now, Rodan's feet are a bit smaller in the movie, but that's all okay. It's literally all okay. The head sculpt is also pretty impressive. Loving it. I'm not sure why they made him look up all the time, but you know, it's cool. It's pretty cool. It's really cool. But on the downside, the only part of articulation Rodan really has is at his neck, which can move all the way around, and that's pretty much it. In the promotion picture, it was shown that he was gonna have hinges on his wings so that they could supposedly move back and forth, but I guess that never came to be, unfortunately. But that is Rodan. Not really sure what's up with that, but you know, we got what we got. Alright, next up is Gorosaurus, and this one I was mostly excited for because we've never gotten any good Gorosaurus figures. Of course, with the release of the movie monster series Gorosaurus, we also got this, which is amazing because we don't have a lot of Gorosaurus figures, or at least some that are affordable. What we do is just they're ridiculously expensive. You know, that Bandai Gorosaurus figure that was released in the 80s or 90s. That thing goes for like at least $100 to $200 with the tag. So that is pretty pricey for an 8-inch Bandai vinyl. But it is Gorosaurus, and he really doesn't get a lot of attention when it comes to merchandise. So here is Gorosaurus, and first I want to look at the detail because that's what catches my eye the most in this figure. Now, as you can see here, we have all of his scales all over his head. Pretty much everywhere we look, there's scales, and it just looks so good, and it just looks very neatly and well done. You can see his back; he has all those spikes, a row of spikes down his back. Sorry. Let's just take a look at that. You can see his legs, your standard dinosaur legs. That dinosaur. What really weirds me out is how on this side, Gorosaurus' arms are literally almost at his neck, and then over here, they're more lower down. But when you look at him from the front, it looks normal. Probably just me. From the inside of the mouth, there's not much going on. I mean, there's a little bit of detail in the roof of the mouth, and not much on the bottom. But his teeth are painted pretty well, and his eyes are brown. So you can see that. The paint on his underside going all the way down, very impressive and very well done. You can see a nice fade. Looks pretty well. His nails or claws are painted the same color as his underbelly, same with the claws in his feet and his teeth. All of Gorosaurus has a lot more articulation than Rodan. So here's what can move. His head can turn all the way around. His arm can move. It's about there. It can turn around, but then that's scratching, which can cause denting on his nails. So I'm not gonna do that. But it can turn all the way around unless you like kind of pull it like that. Not sure why you would, but you know. And here, his arm can move as well, all the way around. Looks like he's scratching himself. But yeah. Again, his jaw, big ass head is blocking the arm. Here we have his legs that can move all the way around. If you pull up an arm, make sure that doesn't hit it. His legs can move all the way around as well. Kind of stiff. And his tail can move all the way around. So overall, Gorosaurus, good paint, very well done. But the molding, it's eh. Also, his head looks really thick. Like, I would think his snout is more narrow. But again, like 2 years ago, they just started making Playmates figures ever since NECA lost their license and stuff. So it's a big whoop, but it's still cool. We're still getting these obscure monsters. And that is it for the two of them. I think the best one, in my opinion, has to be Gorosaurus, just because there's not a lot of Gorosaurus merchandise around. Rodan, you can get Rodan, 2019 Rodan, 2004 Rodan, 1964 Rodan, and then overall just, the monsters. You got Fire Rodan, and there's a lot of Rodans. Gorosaurus is barely anything. Plus, he has the most articulation, and he has really good detail and really good paint on him. And he ain't lacking any paint, my guy. He ain't lacking any paint. Unlike a Rodan here, who the only impressive thing he has on it is just one streak on his back, and that is pretty much it. I'm not saying that Rodan is a bad figure. I mean, he's pretty good looking as well. But I just overall think that Gorosaurus is the better one. And that's it. That's the review of the Playmates, Rodan, and Gorosaurus. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.